Hello, hello. Let me see if I can see you all, the live chats. If you can see me, make sure and give me a thumbs up in the chat or something so I know you're there. Let me know you're there. Can y'all see me over here? Hey, hey, hey. All right, I'm trying to get my Facebook people time to get in here. So, mm, all right. Give me a couple more minutes. I'm just trying to give people time to get in. I am starting a little late, so be patient with me. Be patient with me. All right. Everything is moving slow, so I do apologize. I don't have I don't have any control over it. So I'm sorry ahead of time, okay? I'm sorry. Y'all don't beat me up. Don't beat me up too bad, okay? Okay. This is all right. I think we are almost there. Couple more people, couple more people. You watching me on both? Okay, so does that mean that YouTube is working? Is YouTube working? Since you said you're watching me on both. Hey, okay, wonderful. So YouTube is working. Now I can't get Facebook to work. I don't know. It's either one or the other, right? Well, I am not gonna hold y'all since I am starting off late. Of course, there's always technical difficulties when I'm trying to do things the right way. So, I will not hold you any further because I cannot seem to figure this out. So, y'all know me and technology don't get along. I need like a whole tech team to take care of me on shooting days. So, if this is your first time, I have no idea why I cannot get that to work, y'all. I tried everything and it is not liking me. So, if this is your first time, good evening to my double R double C, my Real Resilient Conversation Committee. How y'all doing out there? Thank you so much for taking time out to join me. I really do appreciate the time because you could have spent your evening anywhere else and yet you chose to spend it with me. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart how much I truly appreciate you on this evening. So whether you are with that special someone, you hanging out alone at the house, wherever you might be, today is your day to spend 30 minutes with me. So I am your host, Quita Quee, where with We're Resilient Conversations, we take the time out to use quirky, unique words, so to speak, and we take those phrases and we find out ways on how I can help you to become more resilient in your everyday life. So my goal is to make sure that whatever I give you, it is something that you can take, if not only for yourself, but for someone else to share. So, with that, I am not going to hold y'all any longer because it is Monday. So, if you have missed me, I am so sorry about last week. Last week was a busy, hectic day. And since I've been back on the ground, I have been running ever since. So, I am here. I finally got the chance to see you all. Thank you so much. It has been a great opportunity to see you all again. So tonight's topic is her story versus his story. And I know y'all like, oh, this sounds like it's going to be juicy. Give me the tea. So in the chat, tell me what you thought when you heard the topic, her story versus his story. Because when you're thinking about resiliency, how does her story versus his story, history versus her story, how does that really make a difference in our everyday lives when it comes time for resiliency, right? Because resiliency is not just a hit it or miss, like a hit it now, don't need it then. It's an everyday thing that we use and we don't even realize that we use it. And my goal is really to help you to become more aware of how you can become resilient. So in the chat, if you can go ahead, put down there, what do you think when it comes to today's topic, history versus herstory? How does that really melt into resiliency? And the reason I'm asking that is because we have so many different opportunities in everyday lives to make that determination and to make that decision to become a part of history or to become a part of herstory. So, okay, so Willie said what you've gone through and how it shaped you. Very, very good. Look at you. You right there on there. You already was all in my head, huh? Okay, Willie Spade, I see you. What I really want is for you all to think about those things, right? Because the things that we go through and the ways that we have shaped ourselves really make a difference in our everyday lives. And it is up to us really to determine how to make those things become something greater in our lives. And not just because it sounds good, but because it is good, right? And you know how your mom used to say, you need to eat that because it's good for you. And you be like, I don't want to eat it because it's nasty. But it was things that are good for you that we might not necessarily like, but it is something that we really need. And so on today, my goal is to really find out what it is that you need that I can give to you in order for you to appreciate history versus herstory when it comes to resilience. So I'm going to give y'all a couple minutes in the chat. Let y'all go ahead and put it down there. Let me see how y'all feeling in the chat. What y'all thinking in the chat. Because I like to see what y'all thinking. What's on your mind? What's going through your head, right? Because today it is about you, honey. All about you. So tell me how I can help you become more resilient. Down in the chat when it comes to history versus herstory. And what I am going to do is give you the opportunity per se to really kind of give me a part of you so I can give you a part of me. Like I want to do a little exchange here, right? And the reason I'm doing that is because I really want to be what I like to say, honest, open, and transparent. And if we are not honest, open, and transparent, what happens? Somebody somewhere loses what should have been a great thing. It becomes a good thing. And because my thing is that it is a sin to be good when you are called to be great. Okay, so stop being just good. Stop being ordinary. We are not ordinary people. We are extraordinary people, right? So when you are an extraordinary person, there is no way, shape, form, or fashion that you will allow yourself to be called mediocre, right? Because we are not mediocre people. So somebody in the chat, anybody else in the chat want to comment on what history versus herstory and how that can relate to resiliency? I'm just trying to figure out why it will not let me go live on the page. It's saying that we're live. Do y'all see me live on Facebook? Anybody? No? Okay, well, while y'all are still trying to figure it out, I'm going to give this thing time to do what it do. If not, I will add it later. So, of course, the dictionary, when you're talking about history, it is more so talking about the opportunity for you to reflect on things that have happened in the past, whether it be for someone or something, but it is a past event and it becomes herstory. Now, where did the term herstory come from? Has anybody heard that before? I put it out in the, as far as our topic for today, had anybody heard of the term herstory? And if so, what did you think when you heard it? Because most people are like, here we go again, this feminist act. Uh, what made you say, okay, yeah, that sounds like it should work? Or who had some offense to it, who thought that herstory was just another way to get people to not appreciate what history is, because history is a part of herstory. So when you hear it, what kind of things go through your mind, right? And because, okay, past experiences that women have faced that were never recognized. And usually that happens, right? And that, of course, is going to eat right into our next month's topic, because this is Women's Appreciation Month. This is Women's History Month. This is the time to appreciate the women in our lives and why they make a big difference. So when you talk about herstory, herstory, of course, is viewed from the woman's point of view. It's a woman's point of view that started back in the 1970s, and it was deemed her story versus his story, right? And it gives special attention to the experiences of women, because whether you like it or not, you are birthed through a woman. In order for you to become a part of history, you had to be a part of her story first. So the question I do have for you is, in reference to history and herstory, when you're looking at Black history, because we did just get out of Black History Month, what do you think that represents? Was it a blueprint of hope? Was it about courage? Was it about survival? What was it as far as resiliency go for Black history? How did that coincide with who you are, what you viewed, what did not resonate with you? Anybody in the chat? Anybody? I give y'all a couple minutes. No? Nobody? I'm giving y'all time today, and y'all still don't want it. Y'all said, not today. Okay. So what I want to do is go ahead and say this. History is our best accumulation of change. It shows the change that has gone through life, that has gone through cycles, because as a species, we've come up on all kind of shocks, right? We're going through floods, we've gone through famine, we've gone through disease, we've gone through viruses, we've gone through exiles and depletion of resources, abuse, war, and we even like seeing it as we speak today, right? So we've had history that has shown itself that we have still overcome. And herstory has shown herself to the outside world. She has had to be even the stronger. Why is that? When we're thinking about herstory, we have to be stronger than history, because the woman has to give birth to everything, right? The outside world is sure that she is supposed to be limited, that she's supposed to be less than. So when you are talking about the woman and her story does feed into his story, but it was her story first that gave birth to the life for him to have the history, for history itself, right? If you think about the terms that we speak today, Mother Nature, right? Mother Nature is what we live in and on, right? And we are able to coordinate through day in and day out. So when you're thinking about her story, the woman has to be mindful. She has to meditate. She has to practice her day-to-day wellness, because she has to be in the right mindset so that she can continue to grow and cultivate history. So she can grow and cultivate the people that are in need of that support. Why? Why is her story just as important as his story? And that's why I really wanted to discuss it, is because it gives us time to really reflect on what makes it so important in the first place, right? But her story is someone's mother, someone's sister, someone's cousin, someone's auntie, someone's niece, someone's nephew, someone's granddaughter, right? She has made history. Whether she has birthed a child or raised another child, she has still been a part of history by her story, teaching and enabling and growing and cultivating her story, right? They had to make a way for history. So let me tell you a little bit about me, right? So I'm giving you the her story, the Quita story. And because some of you already know me and some of you do not, this is just an opportunity for me to share with you right now, right? I really feel like if people understand you, so Transformation Church uses the term honest, open, and transparent. I'm trying to be real hot right now, right? Honest, open, and transparent. I grew up in a single parent home. I grew up between different family members. So then we stayed with different family members. We weren't always just with the mother or just with my aunt or just with my great aunt and uncle. We were within different family dynamics, right? We lived off food stamps. We lived off WIC. I was a latchkey kid. I did have a loving family. We just were still trying to learn how to be adults and trying to learn how to be a parent and still trying to learn this thing called life, right? I mean, even though all of that was still loving and supportive, I was still raped. I was still molested. I still had to endure physical abuse, emotional abuse, even in my adult years, right? You talk about someone that was neglected, that was protected at times, someone that was made to believe something that wasn't, if that makes sense, all to try and protect. So I was still hardworking. I had no fear of working hard, but I also knew that it put me at a place where I could be cheated on and lied to and deceived, and I was homeless, and that I was, still living paycheck to paycheck. Like, this is who has formed me, right? I found myself, I make sure that I am around women who are smart, who are knowledgeable, married women, single women, business women, religious women. I am learning, right, every day how to make Quita better. So did I have to go through the negative relationships in order for me to appreciate the positive relationships, whether they were intimate relationships, whether they were family relationships, whatever type of relationships they were? This gave me the opportunity to truly what? Be able to give back and be able to be honest and to be the woman that I am and to show my resilience, right? This resiliency thing didn't just come because I wanted it to come, right? It was a part of me, and I felt it was a sin to be good and to just say, okay, this is good that you made it through, when you're called to be great and to share your story and to bring somebody else up, right? And when you are looking at ways to be resilient in the time of struggle, right? The first thing we got to do is what? We got to stay flexible. You got to remember, change is inevitable. You might be good today and tomorrow you got to change. That's about resiliency. That's about changing who you are, changing what you see, changing your view of things, right? So that you can give back and really learn who you are. You won't learn who you are if you stay stagnant. If you are pole-like, you are still like, you are stagnant, you are in no shape, form, or fashion ready to be resilient, right? So my job is to help you to learn those lessons, help you to remember that challenges that come in our day-to-day situations are truly here to be a lesson. So if you don't learn a lesson, guess what happens? You continue to go through the challenge. So whether we like it or not, challenge is inevitable, right? And the challenge should be, I can get through this. This is just a test. I tell myself that every day, y'all. When I'm still looking for a home to move into, I have to retire in 2 months. There's so many things that are going through my mind at one time. And I have to say, be flexible and figure out what lesson you are supposed to learn from the madness, right? Number 3, I would say that you need to take action. Don't just wish it to come. Don't just say it to come, right? But you have to take an active approach in making sure that if you don't, then I guarantee you somebody else or something else will make the decision for you. You have the opportunity to make the decision for yourself, and for you to make the decision to take action, whether it be to get up and walk, whether it be to get up and talk, whether it be to get up and look for that job, whether it be to find a way to deal with that screaming child in the background, whatever it might be, you have to take action. You cannot continue to run from the things that frustrate us. Look, I'm just as guilty, y'all. Just as guilty. Now, I like to run from a couple things. Once upon a time, I was known as a runaway bride. After you've been proposed to 4 times and you're like, yes, and you're like, no, you know, it kind of sticks, right? So number, what is that? What do I talk? 3. Okay, so number 4, you want to stay connected. Stay connected with like-minded people, people that are positive, people that are going in the direction you want to go, right? Do not surround your people who want to be depressed, that are always the Debbie Downers, who are always the woe is me people, because we are more than the woe is me. It should be, whoa, that's you, instead of the woe is me. The woe should be, gosh, look at where you came from. Look at how you overcame. That should be the woe, not the somebody should feel sorry for me, right? Stay connected to those people who continue to be positive, right? Because the enemy loves to get you alone and play in your head. And once he can get you alone, I'm trying to tell you, today was one of those days I had to take a moment and just breathe. I said, I'll start late before I go on there and let the enemy take over my mind, right? Nothing was working right. I couldn't get the dynamics to work how I want. So I finally just said, it'll happen when it happens, right? So you have to release that tension. Don't be the bag lady carrying all that tension, all your past hurt, all your depression, all your frustrations, because it weighs you down, right? And that's how you end up with these bodily functions. That's how you end up with these diseases that like to fester, because you hold on to the things that have shown itself to be a tension. And so tension is stress, and stress is a killer in itself. We have to find ways to deal with and release that tension and that stress and that depression, because it will eat away at your future. You'll miss out on the very thing that is the next number, which is, what number am I on, y'all? 5? The 5th thing, which is to, have a sense of purpose. You will lose out on what your sense of purpose is when you don't find a way to release that tension. When your whole focus is on loving and appreciating and growing who you are, it changes your dynamic, right? Let it change for the better. Let it change for, my purpose is to, whatever your skills are, your purpose is to get people enrolled in school. Your purpose is to teach children. Your purpose is to grow people as a whole. What is your purpose? All right, is your purpose to change the laws of the land? Is your purpose, whatever your purpose is, find what that purpose is. Recently, I found out that I am a protagonist, and I was like, well, what is that? What does that mean? I'm the person that is going to speak up for the things that are right and the things that are wrong. I'm going to speak up on that too. And I'm the person that is going to take a stand, right? When I see that people are not being treated fairly, I am that person, because I know what it's like to not be treated fairly. I know what it's like to be put in the background because people don't appreciate you for who you are, right? And did you all know that I have a passion to prevent human trafficking? Human trafficking is so big for me, and it plays a huge part in who I am and the things that I am focused on. So if I have children or I'm around children, my senses automatically go into heightened alert. This week I went to the park to go do some walking, and it was a van with dark windows sitting by the park. Who needs a van at a park with dark windows? Not me. That would happen to be the only parking space open. I backed up and I said, I will wait until another parking space is open. They're not getting me today. Because I could just imagine the people that were waiting inside just to get you where no one else could see you. That is why I do what I do. That is why I talk to the people that I talk to. That is why I talk to women that have been abused. That is why I talk to people that suffer with fibromyalgia. This is who I am. And this also takes a toll on me. So there are times when I say my sense of purpose, I still have to learn what the next number, which is healthy habits. So my healthy habit might be that I have to say, I can't do it. My body just needs rest, right? My exercise, I have to be minimal on my exercise. My exercise could push me into a place of where my fibromyalgia might kick up, right? So you have to learn healthy habits, and knowing when to say no is not a bad thing. The word no is a healing thing at times. The word no is a healthy thing at times, right? You have to believe in you and what you have to offer. Your skills and your abilities are what's needed in this world. Never, ever, ever forget that, right? You got to keep laughing. So you got to don't take life so serious. You got to take the time out to laugh. I giggle every single day. I can promise you, somebody in that hospital say, I can see Sarah here. I hear it. I might not see her, but I can hear her. I know she close by. And they said, man, it's gonna be real quiet around here when you leave. You have to be the person that changes the temperature in the room, right? You become the thermostat and not the thermometer, right? Change the energy in the room by your laughter, right? Be optimistic rather than pessimistic. And optimistic means that you happen to see the good in what can happen, right? The law of attraction, by letting your angels go to work, that is the best thing you can do when you're coming to being resilient in your story. So what has history actually taught you, right? There's history and there's her story. There's their story, which is with the culture. There's our story as a country. And then there's whose story? That's you, right? Whatever story you want to be a part of, make sure that you tell it, right? There's someone else in a different country wishing that they could be in America, wishing that they had the opportunities and the freedoms that we do, right? And there's someone else in another country saying that I don't want to deal with that stuff that America got going on. What are you doing to tell your story? Are you helping those that are homeless? Are you helping those that used to be prostitutes? Are you helping those that have mental health differences? Are you helping those that have medical health issues? What are you doing to help the next person? Are you being empathetic? Are you taking the time out to appreciate that person? That is what I wanted you all to focus on today. So that is my time. I am almost right at 30 minutes. I hope that you enjoyed it. I pray that I have said something to jumpstart your resiliency path and your tour on to becoming a more resilient person for yourself and your future generations and the generations to come. It is my true honor and pleasure to be here. I'm grateful that you took the time out to join me, that you took the time out, your 30 minutes out on your Monday evening just to share your ear and your heart with me. So I am truly grateful. So I hope that you come back. Now come back on the 14th of February. I'm sorry, 14th of March. Ooh, goodness, I was stuck in February. Y'all don't judge me. The 14th of March as we jumpstart right into History Month. So this topic was supposed to end our Black History Month, but we just went right on into Women's History Month and Women's Appreciation Month. So any last questions, concerns, anything that I can do? If you don't want to put it on out there, make sure that you inbox me. I'll make sure to take care of any and every question that you have. Make sure that you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I am here for you. TikTok, it's all Real Resilient Conversations. So make sure that you find me. I would love to sit down and have time to talk with you. Trust me, you don't want to miss on next show on next Monday. So since I missed last Monday, I'm here this Monday. Then I'll be back next Monday. So make sure that you're there on 14 March as we jump into Women's History Month. If you miss it, that's okay. Just tune in to the rebroadcast. It will be amazing. You will definitely bless your socks off. So it is my true pleasure. Until then, that I pray that we meet the same time, same place, same face, with love, joy, peace, and happiness all over your lives. So until then, love you. See you later. I'm going to have my music coming out soon so that when I'm closing out, I have my little closeout music. All right, bye.